What's up, guys? Cameron here, and the iPhone 11, 11 Pro, and 11 Pro Max have just got announced. Pre-orders have started. Well, they start the 13th if today isn't the 13th, depending on when I get this uploaded. Orders start to ship out next week. They're in stores on the 20th, next Friday, and they've improved a lot. Of course, faster processor like every year, the A13, but the cameras have dramatically changed. You have an ultra wide camera that's added to the telephoto and the main, and then on the iPhone 11, which is replacing the XR, dropped down $50, and they added another camera. They added an ultra wide angle, which I'm so glad they did. I thought that they were going to put a telephoto as the secondary lens, but they put a ultra wide. So much more useful. You guys are gonna have a blast with that if that's what you guys are looking for. So I'm gonna skip it. And the reason why is because I have been using the Samsung Note 10 Plus, and this has been in my pocket for the past 3 weeks. This thing has been an absolute monster. And the last episode that I had was the Note 10 was trash. The Note 10 Plus was trash, and you shouldn't buy it. And I'm gonna stay with my Note 10. I'm gonna stay with my 10s Max. And it was like a trash video. And I got the Note 10 Plus in. I put my SIM card in to submit an unlock code to AT&T, and I'm literally writing up my ad on Craigslist, and I couldn't let this phone go. I couldn't get it out of my hands, and I've been using it ever since. So I've been using it for about 3 weeks, and before this turns into an iOS iPhone versus Android type of debate, it's a never-ending debate. It's controversial. One OS doesn't defeat the other. It all just depends on your needs as a user, and as the years have progressed, I've been getting more invested in iMessage, iCloud, AirDrop, the typical iPhone stuff. But as my photography has progressed, as I've been getting more clients and doing more photography stuff, I've been needing external physical storage. I've needed SD cards, external SSDs, moving stuff in bulk, and iMessage and AirDrop, they just can't do that. They can't process those things in bulk. If you're just sending a picture, a photo, or a video to your friends and family, it's great. It's great inside group messages. It's amazing. But when you're moving stuff like that in bulk, 500 to 1,000 photos, maybe some videos. This video that I'm uploading right now is going to be about 25 gigabytes. Moving that via AirDrop, it just times out. It times out, or it just doesn't work altogether. So my day-to-day life has changed. Doing YouTube and photography, my life has changed. So that being said, I didn't really miss the iPhone XS Max, and that's pretty much what I was looking for when I went to the Note 10 Plus. I knew that this was going to be a great device, and was I going to miss iMessage and AirDrop? And that's the main question, is what am I missing by going to this? What am I losing? And since I've been getting away from the iMessage and AirDrop, as you could say, I'm out of the walled garden. So the Note 10 Plus is in my pocket. I still think that you should not get the Note 10. I think that the Note 10 really is a ripoff. For $949, you get a 1080p display, 6.3 inches. You do not get an external SD card slot. You get a smaller battery, and it's still more expensive than the S10 Plus. So that's a little crazy to me. The S10 Plus you can get around $600, $650 right now, depending on where you go. There's a bunch of deals on it, but the S10 Plus is not that much different than the Note 10 Plus. So if you want flagship specs, but you don't want to pay the $1,100, which this is, then go get yourself a S10 Plus. You have a 4,000 milliamp battery in there. You have a headphone jack, which this doesn't have a headphone jack. You have a lot of things in there. You still have a quad 1440p quad HD display, which is gigantic. It's not that much bigger than this 6.8 inch, or I'm sorry, that much smaller than this 6.8 inch right here. So in-display fingerprint scanner, the list goes on, but pretty much the only thing that's changed is the physical changes. So it still has the same chip, the Snapdragon 855, but you know, instead you have the cameras on the back. They're more vertical instead of being horizontal. So they're horizontal on the S10 Plus, they're vertical here. No big difference. You will absolutely see no downgrade in performance as far as cameras go. You have a USB Type-C as usual. Then you're missing a headphone jack, which kind of sucks, but you're missing a headphone jack, which they took away. You do have the S Pen. There are new features with the S Pen. So when you take out the S Pen, you have gestures. So let's go ahead and let's go home. You guys like that setup, huh? Let's see if it'll focus. Yeah. So I have Novo Launcher, and then I have KWGT as my widget application, and then I have these dots on the bottom. The navigation bar is Good Lock. You can get that for free inside the Galaxy Store, and then you have these folders, which are just dots. Super clean setup. But we're gonna open up the camera app to show you the gestures here real quick. Camera. So the camera app, me looking at you, looking at me, looking at you. We're gonna use the S Pen and click. You could take pictures with the S Pen. You could switch up with it. You could, it's pretty much just gestures with the S Pen. I thought it was actually kind of a gimmick, which you know, it kind of sounds like it, but when you're in a group setting or you're taking group photos, it actually comes in handy. You can just stick your arm out as long as you can, and then you don't have to worry about pressing the shutter button. You can just press the S Pen. Yeah, it's kind of cool. But this has been a beast. 12 gigabytes of RAM, Snapdragon 855, expandable storage up to 1 terabyte in the SD card slot, plus your 256 gigabytes of storage. You have USB Type-C faster charging than last year. We have 15-watt wireless charging, and then we have up to 45 watts wired. That is completely nuts. Apple's still behind at the 18 watts, but shout out to Apple for including that and the Pro models inside the box. We have glass front and back, obviously. We still have your standard, like on the S10 Plus, standard wide and ultra wide. I'm sorry, standard telephoto and ultra wide as far as the cameras on the back. You have a time of flight sensor, so you have 4 cameras on the back. The centerpiece camera has moved to the center instead of being on the right side, which is kind of cool. But the first thing I noticed is that this device is huge. This thing is 6.8 inches. It is a gigantic display. And one of the other things that I noticed also is that the display is less curved. So let's see if this will focus here. So it's actually less curved. There we go. It's less curved than it was before. So what does that mean? That means you're going to get a flatter display. That means that you're going to have less ghost touches. And that's one of the things that drove me nuts about the OnePlus 7 Pro, is that the displays were so curved that you were losing a lot of screen real estate and you're getting a lot of ghost touches. If I hold the phone like this or something similar to that and my skin is touching the display, you can't interact with the phone. So it's one of the things that really bugged me about curved displays in the OnePlus 7 Pro, but this seems to be doing all right. No ghost touches. This thing does not lag at all whatsoever. One UI has been great. The only thing that's a little bit of a bummer is that they did not improve the fingerprint scanner performance. I was hoping for a 2nd gen ultrasonic fingerprint scanner. It is kind of slow. So if security is really your thing and you want a snappy, fast, you know, secure way to unlock your phone, then of course Face ID is the fastest and most secure. But this is okay. It's not that bad, but I wish that they would improve it. And then of course you have the Samsung Pay. Samsung Pay works everywhere. It's not the same thing as Google Pay or Apple Pay. It replicates your magnetic strip on the cards that you have. So it actually, the scanner, the card scanner that's actually taking your money, it's actually thinking that your phone is the actual card. So it processes like it's being scanned. So it'll work everywhere. I went to In-N-Out the other day and I put my Samsung Pay up to the register, and they were like, no, it's not gonna work. We don't have mobile payments. We don't have Apple Pay or Google Pay here. And I said, no, it's gonna work. And they're like, no, it's not gonna work. So I showed them and it worked, and their eyes are just dropped. And that's the coolest thing that that could happen, is something tech-wise that you show someone that's new and they're telling you no, and then it eventually goes through. It's pretty funny. But that's what I've been using, guys. Note 10 Plus. It's a real winner. Do not buy the Note 10 if you do not have the cash to get the Note 10 Plus, or if you're just not an S Pen type of person, too much phone, go get yourself an S10 Plus. But the Note 10 is trash. You're not buy it. It's all about the Note 10 Plus or the S10 Plus. If you guys are looking for the iPhone, I suggest that too. If iMessage and AirDrop and FaceTime is your thing, you know, once you have your family in it, it's really hard to get out. So if that's your thing, the iPhone 11 launched at $699, which is a great value. You get a lot of the features that are in the Pro and the Pro Max. So a lot of intriguing options here. If my fiance or someone else gets a iPhone, I might test it out for a little bit and give you guys a review. But until next time, we have the Note 10 Plus. Pixel 4 coverage may be coming soon. We'll see how that goes at launch. But for right now, Note 10 Plus, we are out of the walled garden, and we're going to stay out of the walled garden for a while. We are on Android. We're away from iOS. I'll see you guys later. If you guys have any questions about my process switching from iOS to Android, what are the workarounds, what can I replace iMessage and AirDrop with, stuff like that, let me know in the comments. You can head over to my Instagram page, Cameron_T_Allen_photography, or you can head over to my website, shoot me an email at CameronAllenPhotography.com. I will see you guys later.